That's why sometimes we can't stand the loneliness. Whether you enjoy solitude will depend on your introspective ability, in other words, the ability you have to analyze yourself. This ability also reflects the level of commitment and involvement we have with ourselves. It says a lot about us if we can stand the loneliness. Paying attention to our moods, thoughts, wants and needs and stopping to pay attention to them allows us to find psychological stability even in times of conflict. This introspection will be fueled by the time we allow ourselves to be in solitude. The ability to enjoy vulnerable solitude is a sign of emotional maturity and independence, which enables us to strengthen the knowledge of ourselves. It is possible that we are so unbearable to ourselves that we need others to notice us in order to exist. Dependence on relationships and emotional conflicts lead us to an emotional vacuum and to not being able to stand loneliness. We enter blunted relationships, experience symbiosis, and connect with misunderstandings that are not real. Those who hate loneliness only hate themselves. Anonymous. When we can't stand the loneliness, as its tranquility creates anxiety. Feeling comfortable and being able to endure loneliness is a very personal experience. Every moment we spend alone is unique. Different experiences will emerge within us, depending on the vital moment we are in and our psychological state. Not everyone manages to manage the pain that arises from certain conflicts and life circumstances. Sometimes we can get completely dizzy hearing our echo, and therefore we surround ourselves with outside noise. To avoid being ourselves, we try to escape along a road with no exit. If we can't stand the loneliness, our masks will come out, we will set aside our authenticity and we will avoid everything. We do everything possible to not be alone, clothe this fear in false regulations. We will jump from one relationship to the next without knowing what it is that we are looking for. We pour our anxiety onto our friends and family so that they can help carry some of the burden and temporarily lighten our shoulders. We will try to stop the anxiety with pills. Everything will be okay as long as we don't have to experience loneliness and the messages that come from it. Do a self-analysis on why you can't stand the loneliness. If loneliness causes restlessness, discomfort, boredom, pain or anxiety, it is best to stop and think, am I feeling good about myself? Is there anything that worries me or bothers me? Can I put a name to the feelings that run through my mind and heart? When loneliness is uncomfortable or doesn't feel comfortable, there is a message begging to be heard. It is something wrong if we constantly spend our time with other people. Avoiding loneliness by all means is a sign of an inner personal conflict. If we avoid taking responsibility, we will look for any way to ease this discomfort without understanding or confronting what is really happening to us. Solitude heals. In some cases, solitude is necessary in order to organize one's thoughts and feelings. Loss and change can create an emotional imbalance that we need to deal with in order to find peace. Spending time in one's private sphere is important to be able to feel our own experiences. We also need others to share our experiences and concerns with, but listening to our voice is really important. Being with others should not be a substitute for personal reflection. Experiencing moments of silence with ourselves makes us focus on our inner world. We are the only ones who will listen to our thoughts and face our feelings. No one else will enter that scene, and the responsibility of knowing how to manage the things that befall us is in our hands. This is where we can enjoy the peace and learn to live with discomfort. Solitude enables us to make an effort to understand ourselves. It gives us the opportunity to choose what we want to do, when and how, and to enjoy the process. Loneliness is the realm of consciousness. Gustavo Adolfo Becker. What happened to credibility in a relationship? When we talk about relationships, the next in line is quality and not quantity. Having someone by your side can make you feel as alone or even more alone than you were. Company does not guarantee individual well-being. For that reason, we need affection from others since we were born. We seek human contact as the social beings that we are. Family, friends, colleagues and the social circles we are in are important for our individual development. Connections with other people create our personality and influence our social skills and emotional control. But the ability to be alone is valuable and even more important. Being able to feel good about yourself is the first step to feeling good in the company of others. On the other hand, this hyperconnectivity we live in paradoxically leads us to be disconnected and confused about the true bonds. We spend more and more time communicating through screens, rather than looking into each other's eyes. We have access to an abundance of people and have the opportunity to create many relationships, but these are short-lived, and therefore do not cover our need for presence. Therefore, we feel uncomfortable with ourselves when we are alone and not satisfied with the new relationships we create. The independent person comes by being able to be comfortable with himself. Francisco Gran Montagna. Voluntary solitude is the best company. Whether you enjoy solitude will depend on your introspective ability, in other words, the ability you have to analyze yourself. This ability also reflects the level of commitment and involvement we have with ourselves, i.e. the extent to which we take responsibility for our lives without having to delegate our inner world and conflicts with others. In this connection, it is one thing to seek company with others, in order to give them some of the surplus you have, and quite another if you seek company to be able to fill your shortcomings. It's not about being alone forever. It's about the ability to enjoy your own company when you're alone. Choose yourself as a partner and enjoy it, even if you are able to be with other people. That's what makes the difference. This will mean that your relationship with others will be based on a desire, not on a necessity. What a wonderful surprise to finally discover how lonely being alone can be. Ellen Burstyn.